I'm Reslar.
I'm Frosty.
As nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have a bit of. Oh, was that a triple stun for the Mystic?
And welcome back to the Value Pack. And we're good to go. Alright, so everybody, welcome back to the Value Pack. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about today, and we have a super awesome special guest with us today. We're going to be introducing him later on today, but you already probably know who he is if you read titles. But first things first, we got to get some drama out of the way, unfortunately. Long story short, we're not going to be posting to Reddit anymore. I know a lot of people find our content through Reddit, and they like to know through Reddit when we're uploading, but not going to happen anymore. I'm not going to get too into the reasons why. Just know that it's not going to happen anymore. But the good news is, first of all, we have a Discord now. We have a community Discord. You can find that in the description down below. Also, we're recording at 12:30 a.m. for me, so if I'm a little slow or jumbled on my words, please excuse me. But we have a community Discord. You can find it in the description down below. Join it, and we're trying to build a bit of a community there. I'm going to be trying to ask some questions to the community every now and then just to get people's opinions on things. And we also want to do like community events later on, like tournaments or just whatever kind of we feel like. Maybe a night where we literally all just hang out and voice and just argue over things civilly, you know, like civilized people, you know. Probably not possible, but... And then also, Frosty finally got the RSS feed working.
Final. What?
So, you can also find that in the description of the video. I'll put it there as well. But yeah, so to everybody who was relying on Reddit to know when we were uploading, sorry. Subscribe. Subscribe and or join the Discord, because those are the only two ways that you're going to know if we have uploaded now. I will be posting in the Discord every single time I upload another episode of the Value Pack, and I will also post in the Discord every time we need to update you guys on like if there's any delays or if there's not going to be an episode for whatever reason. So that way we can get that out to you guys, because I don't Twitter. I hate Twitter.
Look, I'll try to... I mean, I'll probably sneak it on Reddit sometimes here and there, just to kind of see if we can fish some new people, new listeners, and remind people that may have listened before and lose track. But yeah, that part's kind of hard. So Discord or... so I set up a feed burner, put it up on SoundCloud, and I'm going to submit it to iTunes and Google Play Music as soon as I get a... I don't know, you have to go through a process the first time on iTunes. But it should be easier to search for, and once you have the FeedBurner link, it's literally just a link you can put into any podcast app, and once you have it in there, it's just subscribed and automatically downloads to whatever app you use every single week, or you can set up notifications depending on apps and yada yada yada. So anyone who's used a podcast app before will kind of figure that out. It's pretty simple. We'll put that I'll have a whole post put up on Discord. And it was in that original Reddit post, which is gonna remain up, thankfully. And then,
surprisingly,
yeah, we'll put it in the YouTube video too. A link to everything in YouTube, so it'll be accessible some way or another.
Yep. So, just subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on whatever podcasting app that you're using, or SoundCloud. I'm still going to be manually uploading them to CastBox because they have some weird claiming thing that they do, and I don't know how that works if we try to upload it twice. I don't know enough about the app to know what happens there, so I'm just going to keep manually uploading there. It's not like it's a big deal anyway, so if you're already subscribed on CastBox, you don't have to worry. Nothing's going to happen, or nothing's going to change for you. It's going to be exactly the same. But yeah, so that does it for that. And the next thing we gotta do is get into the comments. And I just realized I only opened half of the comments, because while our Reddit post got taken down, some people were still able to comment before that happened.
Oh, right. You do have. There's 2 Reddit posts. Well,
I'm not gonna read the
one of
comments
them.
from the one you made.
No, that one probably is not a good idea. I
No,
wouldn't
no,
read that
no.
one. That one gets vile, man.
No.
People on Reddit were being people on Reddit, you know, standard stuff.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? We've been starting with the Reddit comments since this is the last time we're probably gonna be reading Reddit comments, at least for the immediate future. We'll do that last. So we'll start with YouTube first.
Okay.
Jonathan Smith says add Ranger/Archer to the list of topics. Keep up the good work, guys. Great listen for my drive to and from work from Drug Candy.
Yeah, I'm with you. We have to get a good archer who's passionate about archer, which I know 0. I actually don't know anyone that loves archer that plays it, but there's definitely rangers out there, and we definitely need a little bit more opinion on those 2 classes. They're interesting classes, and into I don't know, they're so different too. So yeah, I agree. We got to talk about archer and ranger a little bit more. They get lost a little bit in the shuffle.
For sure, for sure. Also, if you join the Discord, I'm going to keep plugging that through this entire podcast. If you join the Discord, we have a specific channel set for you to suggest topics for us. So, if any of you guys have topic suggestions and maybe for whatever reason you don't want to post it on YouTube, or you want to double post them in YouTube and in Discord, you can go to the community Discord and post it in that channel. So, excuse me, Sunshine Senpai says Sorks can be pretty hard to play fluently, but once you reach the skill level, they are nearly unstoppable, especially against their counter classes. Good video, by the way.
What do you mean unstoppable?
Yeah,
Like
Frosty,
Yeah.
you can't BS on this one. Okay, listen, Sork has an insanely high skill ceiling. Like, once you start getting close to that skill ceiling, it really is a ridiculous class.
Like, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Well, in what context? You mean like 1v1?
I mean, overall. I mean, like, a really good Sork is good in Node Wars, they're good in small skill, they're good in 1v1. Like,
Sure.
they're good at everything.
In Node War, like large scale Node War, I don't think they're really hard to kill because they're kind of. I mean, if you're stuck flexing against them, I can see that. But like in the ball, they're effective and stuff, but they're not like hard to kill, particularly in the ball.
Well, the good news is if you CC them, like, they're pretty easy to kill, right? Because they're a fairly squishy class.
Yeah, I mean they're good. I have no. There's no part of me that thinks that Sork is not in a cool spot right now. It's a great class, and you can be really good at it. And if you practice and learn every other class, you definitely are capable of killing anybody in this game, regardless of their class. So yeah, Sork's cool. I wouldn't call it overpowered though, personally.
And you just got banned from the Sork Discord. All right, moving on.
Yeah. No, that was in support of the Sork Discord. They want me to say that we're underpowered. Oh wait, no. I said we can beat anyone. Never mind, you're right. I'm banned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just got banned from the
out.
Sork. You said you have no complaints. You just got banned, brother.
What about Mystics? They have magic DP.
Noms Fatty Kitty says, I fail stack on your mums. P.S. Nice episode. Could you please do a discussion on the Xbox One BDO and the BDO PC version differences?
Yeah, one's the old version of the game and one's the new one. Done.
No. You can't say that. The correct answer is one is the old version of the game and one is the slightly newer version of the game that's still not new.
Yeah.
Because the only new version of the game is KR.
One is infinitely behind, the other one's attempting to catch up.
But struggling constantly.
Yeah. I haven't played the Xbox One, so I can't speak to it. I know it's like the original 6 classes, I believe, right?
Yes.
And they're pre-awakening, and they have, I don't even know, are they just Calpheon or do they have Medaya?
No, they don't have Medaya. It's just Calpheon, Serendia, and Balanos.
Yeah, so it's the start of the game.
And it's literally just a restart. I mean, it's basically BDO vanilla right now, at the moment, anyway. And they have plans to add all that stuff later.
Are they pay to win?
I don't know, actually.
Also, how do you AFK? Like, do they AFK fish and stuff on the Xbox? I don't even know. I have to look this up myself.
I was told that the BDO Xbox version was very different in how like AFK life skillings are done, but I don't know how true that is. And I was also told that quite a while ago now, like before the launch actually happened. So I don't know.
The Xbox version isn't mining Bitcoin for Pearl Abyss, like ours.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. We don't know enough about the BDO Xbox version. It's basically just a fresh start. They'll get caught up eventually. Well, I won't say caught up. They'll get more content eventually. Just not right now.
Save up your silver for 3 years. One day you'll be able to buy Vel's Heart directly from the market. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be sitting there. Oh, they already have the new marketplace though, Frosty. That's one thing that was different.
What? That's weird.
Yeah, they got the central marketplace already.
Huh.
At least that's what I was told by somebody who was
interesting
playing
start.
it.
Yeah, cool.
Alex Martin says, I'm glad I saw your channel. Very enjoyable to watch. Frosty's intro piqued my interest as well. What commentary is that? Would be interested to watch if that's still going on. So what that intro bit is from the official Cacao Games, or whatever. Pearl Abyss, I forget who sponsored it. It was Cacao, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one was Cacao, yeah.
Yeah, the official Cacao 3v3 tournament. Me, Frosty, and our good friend Crixta, who is no longer with us, and by that I mean he went on and has an actual life now and doesn't play
that
this
sounded
game.
terrible. Our poor ninja friend. He got a real job.
He actually has a real job with real friends and a real wife, and so he doesn't play BDO anymore. Yeah, with the three of us signed up for the tournament, and that was a really crazy play that Frosty had. That was entirely on the fault of the enemy 3 players.
Yeah.
Because none of them were blocking.
The commentary was Dr. Positive, who does the BSL. Him and Good Vibes guy, and they they saw me. I mean, literally a Valkyrie, a warrior, and a striker got caught by Crouching Wolf. Is really
which
sad.
Should not happen.
It should never.
You know what?
Happen.
We'll just play it right now. Here, I'll just play the clip for you right now. Boom, there you go.
Ran forward and tried to engage, but this time Rezlar played the backline DPS role, and it worked extremely well. It looks like he's going to stick to that idea as he's staying pretty far back and just hammering them with this Flame Buster. And let's see if he continues to do it, as nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have a bit of... Oh, was that a triple stun from the Mystic? Are you kidding me? What was that? That was literally the Mystic running into their face, getting a triple stun, and their teammate...
Alright, so that's the clip there. I'll just edit it in post. Fuck it, why not?
Good luck. Note that down. Write that down. So
write that down.
They're literally going to see and hear nothing and be like, was there supposed to be something there?
It's at, wait, where's my time? It's at about 15, so 15 minutes. Note to self, 15 minutes. But yeah, that's what that is. Austin Lassiter says, what about a link in the description to credit the artist for the intro? Maybe a place where people can check out more music, download, etc.
Yeah, definitely. Hello Stranger. Very small band who's up and coming. They have a really cool drummer, good looking guy. Plays really well.
Says that he's Puerto Rican, he's actually white.
Half Italian, half Puerto Rican drummer. No, it's that's my band. I play drums for that band actually. In real life, IRL, not the Velia band.
Do you want some link for me to put in the description? Like, do y'all have a website or something?
I'll send you some stuff. Yeah, we got a website, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
Yeah, shoot.
They do all that work because I'm playing BDO too. So.
Right. Shoot me that stuff after the podcast, and I'll make sure it gets in the description. Probably somewhere towards the bottom. Austin Lassiter also says, I would take inspiration from SA for an RBF revamp. 1 to 50 points, small black rock prize, 50 to 1 to 50. bigger loot box, rock thing, 51 plus, etc. 10 mil for a win, 7 mil for a loss.
Yeah, that sounds fair to me.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be dope. Also, you know, if they make it pay to win like they did Shadow Arena and add camo boxes to the game, then they can make more money. So I'm surprised they haven't done that yet, honestly.
Right. They should do. They could do like. What else can you buy that's temporary? That's time based. Ooh, they could do like skill reset boxes, where if you have a skill reset going, you have a chance at an ogre ring.
Why not just like a value pack box or something?
Because everyone already has that. They need to sell skill resets.
They'll just make a dragon blessing, and then say you have to have
A
that.
dragon blessing, yeah. It's plus 20 energy and 3% drop rate.
Yeah, dude, and it stacks with camo.
Or 2%. It's been a while.
Tyler Sapp says, Frosty, what is that outfit on your Mystic?
Oh, yeah. I read that question, and I was like, I should be on my Mystic in case this gets asked. This is... It's my Vegeta armor on female.
What the fuck?
I'll tell you the exact name right now when I load in, but it's just dyed like blue and black, and it's the Christmas outfit. I think the snowflake one, but let me get the exact name. Hold on, I have it. Frostbite dress on Mystic, and it's with the skirt hidden, so it looks kind of like Super Saiyan armor.
But then you also
Yeah.
have, for your helmet...
Oh yeah, for my helmet, I'm using the diving mask that we got from the Termian Water Park event back in the day. You got like the crescent rings and the scuba mask and all that. I forget the name of it because I don't have it on this character
Deep
right
sea...
this second.
Isn't it like Deep Sea Diving Mask or something?
I feel like it actually has a name that doesn't make any sense for what it is.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, actually I have it in my high Dell storage, I believe. Nope, that's a lie. Yeah, I don't remember, but it's the scuba mask and it looks badass.
Indeed. Some guy named Nayashe, or Nayashe, or Nayashe.
Nayashe.
He says, for the small scale PvP, I like the way Albion did it, like 5 to 10 people for, 5 to 10 people fight for a territory, but like BDO would be 10 to 15 people. We could call it quote unquote raiding, and you could challenge a territory holder to gain guild funds and personal funds, aka raiding a territory but not quote unquote taking it. The territory holder can defend it or left unchallenged, the raiders take funds. So they would need to change the structure. Instead of instantly collecting siege money, you collect at the end of the week. Throughout the week, guilds that aren't territory holders could quote-unquote raid nodes on your territory, and if they win, they can take a cut of the funds you would have gotten at the end of the week. This gives siege guilds more PvP throughout the week besides merking. Maybe limit it to up to 5 nodes can be challenged a day during node war times. This would give importance to having small-scale skirmishers and benefit those with skill to show off what they got rather than having a clusterfuck like large-scale.
Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds completely new and fresh. I like it.
I don't know about
I'd be
new
down.
and fresh.
What? It's new and fresh. What are you talking about?
For BDO, I mean, isn't that basically the system in EVE Online?
I don't know a soul.
I'm
that
pretty
plays
sure
that
that's
game,
the
so I have
system
no
in
idea.
EVE Online. Like, you hold some area, and then people will, like, fight it over the week, and then it's, like, 24 hours from when they challenge it or some shit. It's, like, the people can choose to either defend it or fight it or something, but... Yeah, that sounds actually dope as fuck. That would be super cool in Node Wars, or to have, like, going on.
That sounds innovative and original. You're wrong.
That sounds really fun to me as a berserker. Because, you know, small scale fights, 10 to 15, you know.
You like small scale on Zerker?
I think Zerker's one of the best classes in the game for small scale.
I think there's shit tier.
Well,
Sorry.
you just got modded in the Zerker Discord.
Modded, yeah.
I haven't been in the Zerker Discord in a long time. Don't take that personally, Zerker Discord. Nitrax says, what AP does Manchwams become worth over Gahaz? I play Zerk / Musa, getting so sick of Gahaz.
That's hard because, to be honest, even like really efficiently, they're kind of comparable if you're super good at Gahaz. What was the class?
Zerk, Musa. Which are
Um,
both really high
Musa-
up there at Manchwams, by the way.
Right. So if you get all the way to like 261, I think on Musa, you start becoming insane there.
I think if you have like 235 with Kudum, you could be 235 to 240 with Kudum, you'd be okay.
Yeah. Do you think? Well, so with Kudum, softcap Kudum, I think is 241. But is that more efficient at Manchems than Bandits? Like it's efficient at Manchems, but is it more efficient than Bandits? I don't know that it
I
is.
honestly,
I think you have to get into those upper tiers, right?
I can't
Before
speak
it
for
becomes-
Musa too much, but Zerker is. I think I first went to Manchwams at like 241 with Kudum, and I was easily making like close to 30 mil an hour. So, which like that's like bare minimum Rex in my mind. So, it was pretty good money. It was better than what I was making before, but I haven't put in a lot of hours at Gahaz, so I honestly can't say. Like, I only have
Right.
one side of the puzzle, you know? I don't have the other side, so it's hard for me to say, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, how is Zerker at Gahaz?
Well, at 265 AP, it's amazing, because you just one-shot every pack with your cannon.
Oh, interesting.
This person
Right.
also didn't list their gear score, so I can't say, like, it's kind of hard. We just kind of have to speculate, but, yeah, Gahaz is really good for Berserker as well. Berserker's a good grinder, man. Berserker's just a really good grinder, and so is Musa.
Right. And Musa's like notoriously great at Manchems, but that's like 269. It becomes like super good.
Yeah, that's like
Like,
once you
I just-
hit, what's his name? Fish, dude.
Okay. Filthy Fish?
Yes.
Okay, that dude's like 282, but
I know,
yeah,
but
sure.
that's what I'm saying, is like once you hit those ridiculously high levels of AP, Musa becomes absolutely insane at Manchwams.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't speak to it. We'll ask Nayashe. See what he thinks.
You're just gonna
Maybe he
ruin
knows
the
that
special guest like that?
No, what? Oh, is he our special guest today?
I hate you and everything that you are. Lucas says veteran Kuno tamer and Maple Story player. I like how he
Oh,
added
no.
that in. You can draw whatever line you like. I've been running Kaya's necklace and 2 times 10% back damage crystals on Tet Kudum Kunai, and my back damage is actually noticeably insane. Have you guys looked into more of the quote-unquote odd stat modifiers on gear other than AP, DP, resist, etc.? Fan of the show, keep it up.
Yes. Now, back attack though, the problem with it is that it's not like super amazing in PvP because if you're hitting someone in the back, they're probably getting CC'd. If they're in super armor, you're only hitting them in the back with like 1 skill. But back attack crystals are like the best for Histria. So, yeah. I haven't looked too many. I mean, I usually run crit or whom. I'm actually one of those weirdos that has a whom crystal in his offhand with a crit
Wait, why?
crystal. Because I'm weird. So I have 2 whom crystals in my helm. I have 1 whom crystal in my boot and 1 in my offhand. So that way I can still run 2 Bond Kobe's for the HP. And yeah. And I can still have a RBF crystal in my boot for the extra resist. So yeah, that's why.
Huh.
Also, I'm gear carried.
Yeah, well,
So a little bit of extra damage won't really help. So I threw it in there.
I can't argue with you on that. You are gear
Yeah.
carried.
Right around I would say right around 277, whom starts getting pretty good in the offhand.
Okay.
Have you tried any special crystals in the offhand?
No, I haven't.
Well, what's in yours?
I am a very, like I said last week, very straightforward AP monkey, like standard AP monkey build. What is in my offhand? I think it's Awakens. Yeah, it's Awakens.
God. I mean, that's alright. You get HP too. It's kinda
Yeah,
nice,
the big
but-
thing for me is because I'm a Zerker, I tried to stack on as much HP rather as possible in terms of my crystal setup. So like I have 2 Hooms in my helmet, 2 Hooms in my boots. I have the Jin Vipers, of course, in my gloves, and then I have Bond Kobe's actually in my. I really wish I could look at my gear without these Manstrons attacking me. Bond Kobe's in my armor because it gives 150 health instead of the, I think it's Jin Kobe's that give 5 DR. So I actually take the health Kobe's personally. With the BMC Precisions and then the Awakens for the extra 150, 300 HP. But I did get rid of my Giath, so that took me down 100 HP, unfortunately.
Yeah. Loser. I kind of want to get one again. I have Griffin, but I don't love it.
Really? Why?
Well, I'm on Sork, so like, you're trying not to get hit anyway.
Ah.
Yeah.
The next comment, unfortunately, comes from Lost Souls. He says they can add a 1v1 or 2v2 game mode where you can get daily quests to win each match. You get 10 mil a win, so 30 mil in total. Then after the quest, you can get like 2 to 5 mil a win and a good ranking system to show off your big D damage. What?
Yeah, I'm with him.
I'm with
Not
him on that.
Unfortunately, Lost Souls.
No. The next one. He replied to that saying, "Oh yeah, my weekly ninja rant. Ninja needs a buff to their 100%. The both of ours are trash."
Oh my god. Now, I mean, your 100% is trash, actually.
The
So that's
Awakens one's not that bad.
It's pretty bad. So they,
Is it?
but they can, yeah, it's pretty bad. But they can absorb it. That's the great thing. And Ninja's already so good. Like when you absorb it, now you're just a super ninja. You know.
Yeah.
For 60 seconds.
I
yeah.
didn't think the Awakened one was that bad, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think it used to be good, but ninjas complain to me about it all the time. I've heard a lot of ninjas complain about the Awakened 100%.
I know the pre-Awakened one is dog shit. I know that. The Shepherd 112 says, as a former striker and fellow mystic myself, I was wondering how you guys feel about the constant trash talk that striker and mystic receive from everyone that doesn't play them. Do you think they deserve it? Every person I kill seems to get salty about my quote-unquote face-rolling no-skill class. Thanks again for another great video, guys.
I have a feeling we're gonna have different answers. I'll let you go first.
I don't know, man. I don't think you should give people shit about what class they play. But I think it's important to recognize that if you are a striker, that striker is a really good class. Or at the very least, it's not a bad class. So if you're playing against a bad class, like if you're fighting like a lawn, and then you're like shit-talking over the lawn, right? I know that's not what he was saying here, but like you need to be able to be self-aware of like, I am playing a striker / mystic, so you know.
So first of all, that example's horrible because Land does really well against strikers in 1v1. Second, I think...
How would I know that? I'm not a striker and nobody plays lawn.
True, fair enough. Dude, the other thing is like, dude, screw what other people say and no, they don't deserve that kind of shit. First of all, people are playing a class. Some people are playing the class for the balance, which is fine. A lot of people are just playing it because they like the animations or the class, or that's what they played first. It's really expensive to change classes in this game. It's really a huge time investment to change classes in this game. You should absolutely not feel bad or have to deal with shit from other people about what class you play.
Yeah.
No matter what. In my opinion, you just shouldn't. And the people that give you shit about it are pieces of crap. The other thing is like it's not, I don't think that it's even deserved criticism. Even if it was easy to switch, because yeah, the class is easy on the low end, But on the high end, against good players, like, things change. And good players can take out strikers and mystics with practice. They just can. Those are, like, so I play Sork and Kuno and Mystic, although right now my Mystic's on a bit of a hiatus just because I'm bored. But I have no problem taking out Mystics and Strikers. Like, they're not even near the top of my list of classes that I stress out against at all. And, like, I know a lot of Tamers that are really good that don't. Ninjas really don't. Kunos really don't. Maehwa and Musa's, like, might, but I have a feeling that they're not at the top of the list, the absolute top. I would be surprised. So, no. Yeah, you shouldn't feel bad, and no, people shouldn't give you shit. If it's so easy, then let them re-roll to it and then just kill them. They can hop into Battle Arena with the trial character. They can go on Mystic and show you how easy it is to play and just embarrass them.
Yeah, so... Nah, like, you shouldn't feel bad about playing the class you want to play.
Absolutely not, yeah. And if people shit talk you, like, dude, it's because they suck or they're mad. Like, I don't know. There's no way. It's so hard to tell if someone's completely equal in skill as you and gear. So people talk. I mean, every class I've ever played, someone has talked shit. If I'm playing Tamer, I'm 2v1ing them, and it's not fair because I have a pet. If I'm playing Sork, I have unlimited iframes. If I'm playing Mystic, I have unlimited magic DP. If I'm playing Kuno, log jump is not fair. If you're playing Zerker, you have so many grabs, and it's not fair. Like, every class people bitch about. So no, don't feel bad. No one deserves that.
Except their own.
Except Ninja during the height of their powers, but that's over now, so it's fine.
Yeah, that is gone. So lucky us. But like, my point was like, don't, like, if you're a striker or a mystic, don't gank the shit out of someone and then start talking shit to them, like, cause that's also really like annoying and like really retarded. Like, I'm a berserker, right? Like, in a 1v1 scenario, when I kill somebody, I never talk shit to them unless it's like one of the specific guilds that I genuinely hate. Cause I'm a Zerker, right? Like, I should be winning basically every single 1v1 I'm involved in as long as the gear is fairly similar. Or like they're just straight up way better than I am. Like, in an equal gear, equal skill scenario, Berserker is gonna win a lot of fights, if not all of them. So why would I go around like this guy right here in the kill feed? If you're watching the video, you can see this kill feed right now. This dude that I killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Seems like 14 times. I think I counted that right. That whole time I was killing him, he was raging at me the entire time. I never said a word to him. Why? Because he was an undergeared mystic that was just, we had a deck against and he was in my spot. I wasn't talking shit to him. Because I am a Zerker and I have way more gear than him. Of course I'm going to win that fight. Even though he was annoying and he kept coming back, I'm not going to talk shit to him. So, just don't talk shit to each other in general unless there's a genuine reason for it. Like, I don't know, you're in a piece of shit guild like Brutal or Rehab or...
Oh, wow. I'm not getting into that. I love both those guilds. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good general rule of thumb. Just don't talk shit, man. Like, every class has their struggles, and you don't know it until you've played the class for a long time.
Yep. You don't know what Zerkers go through until you try to rocket jump out of a pack and realize you have a 30% slow on you, so it actually just doesn't work.
Or from the other point of view, they rocket jump out of the pack and everyone's dead, plus they escaped.
Except for if you're using your 100%. I'm not even going to get into it. Moving on. We got a couple Reddit comments. A couple people got in before it was removed. And a couple people somehow got their comments in after it was removed. Which I don't know how you did that, honestly. I don't know if you went to my profile, because it's removed from the subreddit. So, very confused on how you did that. But props to you. I guess determination will never, determination will trump everything. So the top comment of the day, is Newcomer Sass. He says, damn, already downvoted to 63%. Thanks for making community content. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was weird. There was like a huge influx of downvotes at the beginning, and then it just like started getting upvoted a bunch. It was very, very strange.
Because we're idiots.
Yeah, I don't know. Dangerous Senpai says, I know everybody else is debating a lot of important things on this post, but just wanted to say thanks guys for the work you put in to your videos and the topics you cover. I just started grinding Miramok, so I'm nowhere near your gear, but still loving the game. It's a nice change of pace to be party grinding.
Thank you. And you're not that far from Reslar's gear.
Yeah, oh wow, shade. Yeah, I mean, you're not... I mean, if you're grinding Miramok, at least you're grinding Miramok efficiently. I'm assuming you're not there at, like, 220 AP with a Nuver. If you're grinding Miramok pretty efficiently, then you're not that far away from me.
Hey, guys, just started getting carried at Miramok here.
Horath says he gave us a Google Doc link and said, accessory enhancing statistics spreadsheet. Make a copy, input prices for both stacks and items, go to page, see the values of the accessories you should buy and which you should enhance. And then he says, dash Q. P.S. Hi Frosty and Reslar, if you remember me.
Dash Q.
Well, not dash, just his name is Q. I swear to God, I recognize that name. And whenever you...
I mean, I know my name is Q. Does DK, did he say it's a DK?
No. Nowhere in here did he say it's a DK.
But I don't know that you know Q, so...
I know AQ, and I recognize that name whenever you commented, and I also recognize that name when you joined the Discord. Shout out to the Discord, go to the description down below and join it.
Oh,
I recognize that name when you join the Discord, and I think you even have the same picture that you used to have, but I, honest to God, do not know.
I feel bad. Q.
I feel bad too. I can't remember where I remember you from. It's gotta be, you had to have been in Hex at some point, when we were both in there, right?
That or the Blood Oath.
What?
I mean, maybe he remembers us from, like, warring against each other when you were in Blood Oath.
I don't know. Comment down below, Q. Let us know how we're horribly wrong and
who the hell are you, man?
You're deeply offended. Foxen says, wow, I so want an objective-based PvP modes. You know something isn't right when I'm regularly on the top 30 list for RBF. I only enhance on backups. I use backups for boss gear. For purchasing higher stacks, accessories I expect to fill every time, and am pleasantly surprised when I don't. Yo, same, brother. Only times I go for pen is when one of my backups gets a lucky tet, and I'll use one of my bigger stacks to see if I get lucky. Tet accessories before pen all day, every day. Y'all are great. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, Fox, and you've been a huge supporter, and we appreciate it.
Hell yeah, dude. Join the Discord. Link's in the description. Actually, I think he did join. I think I saw him join. He may have joined already. Join the Discord.
And yeah, Ted accessories before pen, unless you're insane and want to quit the game early.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, not to sound like a broken record from last week, but I just don't understand why you'd go for pen before Ted accessories when you're staring at that enhance rate. Like, what? That's just really strange to me.
Yeah.
You this is some weeb shit, brother. Yumene die? I don't know how to say this shit. The problem I have with the enhancement system is that you waste a lot of time making fail stacks, and when I say a lot of time, I mean last time I went for several TED attempts, I had to move all my characters to Velia. After over 20 hours of active gameplay, most of the time went to repair, downgrade, reblast, and switching characters. I really felt like I was wasting my time because I usually don't leave my altars all around the world, so I don't need to waste my time traveling around when it comes to world bosses. Please don't get me wrong, I have no problem if getting hands on a tet of higher should be hard. My concern is that do we really have to have a system that the fail stacks are bound to the character and not to the weapon/gear/accessory instead? Would love to have a system where fail stacks are bound to the weapon with much lower chances of success by the cost of higher requirements of materials and exchange, concentrated memfrags, etc.
I'm like half with you here. I mean, mostly because it's so tedious changing characters, booking stuff, making stuff, like the whole process, super time consuming and tedious. I actually just wish there was an interface. Like you could press something like H. Right, like you press H, and if you look in the H
knowledge
thing,
it is.
Yeah, it's knowledge. I'm using this intentionally. So if you press H, you have the little knowledge graph thing here with a bunch of different circles. Like, if those represented, you can only have one circle per character that you have, and all your stacks are there. You could click it, and then after you click that, you have access to your warehouse, and you can click the item, the enhancement material, and your stack is on each of those circles. And you never had to change characters. You could just do it all in that interface. Would be nice. Like something just way less tedious. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if I want my stack permanently tied to an item. What happens to the stack when my ogre ring blows up? Does it blow up with the ogre ring?
Yeah, I definitely do agree that it's super tedious and can be made a lot easier. But yeah, there's a little bit of concern with attaching it to the item. Like, how does it work where you go for Tet, you know, like you get a, how does that work in general? There's a lot of concerns and a lot of questions I have. But I'm with you, man. It's tedious and super annoying, and everything about it is really horrible. And just to make money, really. I mean, most things in this game are made annoying purposefully so that they can make money off of it, and that's just the truth of the matter. And fill stacking is no different. You need more fill stacking, fill stacks rather. Buy more character slots. I mean, blacksmith books were only introduced like last year. We didn't have those for a really long time. You need to repair your shit, but don't have a lot of infrags. Buy artisan memories. You know. So, intentionally annoying to make money is their business plan. So no surprise there.
I agree. You should have to buy 100 artisans to even do an attempt.
Yep, 100%. So, Anon Please says, it's honestly still kind of amazing to me that people put this much thought and effort into what I still consider to be a flash in the pan-Korean MMO. I expect this kind of effort for Western games that people know will be around for a decade or more. To address that quickly, we like this game. So, we want to talk about it. It's that simple.
Wait, in the gaming community, though, I feel like a 3.5-year run is no longer a flash in the pan, is it?
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
I think I'd agree.
You have like, yeah. I mean, the average lifespan of a game, successful game, is probably around where we're at now. If I had to guess, I don't know.
Also,
yeah.
I also feel like you guys are super overestimating how hard this is. We sit here and talk for an hour and a half. I slap in an Adobe Premiere Pro. Takes like 20 minutes. And then I upload it. It is really not that hard. The hard part is making Frosty get on here and talk with me because he really hates me and doesn't want to talk to me about anything.
Yeah, he upsets me. His ninja whining lately has been getting on my nerves.
I'm just saying, man, why are they allowed to sit in invulnerability for like 2 seconds and decide what to do? No other class gets to do that. It's so gay.
Because they don't have lava piercer and
oh my god. You know what? Put floating back on Batesman. I don't give a shit.
No, please.
He also says, having said that, what do you guys consider to be the long-term strength BDO depends on what really keeps you playing? Combat. Said it a million times. Frosty, same thing?
It's combat. Combat and community, but combat.
It's combat. For me, it's combat.
Mm-hmm.
Community.
And
I could still be in communities, and I still am in communities that don't play anymore. And I could not play anymore and still be a part of communities. If you have a really good community, then that community transcends BDO. So I could do community stuff without BDO. It's combat.
Yeah.
He also says, there's a lot here, so I'm just breaking it down in parts, Frosty.
Okay.
He also says, I asked because sometime in 2019 we're going to be seeing WoW Classic. At least its betas, if it doesn't launch this year, it will next year. And I see this game's population dropping substantially along with that. For how long remains to be seen.
My
Disagree.
response to that is combat.
Yeah. Hard disagree.
I mean, people that enjoy BDO... Now, don't get me wrong, there will be a period where people are trying it for nostalgia and stuff like that. No doubt. 100%. But let's not pretend you haven't been able to play vanilla WoW in some capacity over the last few years, because you have. And, man, like the combat, like people that actually enjoy BDO, the current player base that actually enjoys it, I would be surprised if they went back to WoW and were like, wait a minute, what was I doing in BDO this whole time? This combat's amazing. Tab, 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 tab.
You forgot 1 1 1 1 1 2 3 1 1 1
Yeah.
1 6 1 1 1.
No, it's 1 1 tab 2 3 4.
Well, no,
5,
I was in a raid.
tab.
I was in a raid there, so that's
Oh,
why.
my bad.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
bad, yeah.
You don't have to tab as much.
You don't tab, yeah, sorry. Oh, wait, healer, though.
Oh,
Tab,
healer.
1.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tab,
You're right.
1. Tab 1 2. Oh, he had a debuff.
Wow. So if you
Tab, 1.
really want the true gaming experience in WoW, you got to play healer.
I'm sorry. Look, WoW is a great game, but there's no way on hell a 15-year-old game is going to kill BDO. Not saying BDO is infallible, because it'll die eventually, but that's not going to be WoW.
Kurtzville is gonna kill it.
No one even knows what that word means.
If Kurtzville doesn't kill it, then Ashes of Creation will. No problem.
the Battle Royale.
Yeah, dude, the Battle Royale. But yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from, dude, and there is going to be a drop, right? Because people are going to stop playing BDO to go play WoW Classic. And then they'll come back after like a month or two, and then it's just going to be back to normal. Then he also says, BDO especially is a game second and a business investment first. If people aren't spending their... I'm being dicked on by a Maehwa that I thought I killed for some reason. Give me 1 second. It's a great warrior. I don't want to be dicked on by him. If people aren't spending the required amount of money necessary to meet those investors' expected returns due to dwindling player base, the company running it can only respond by finding new and exciting ways to part the existent player base's money from their wallets, which means more pay to win, which obviously starts a death spiral, especially considering the overall MMO market in the West in the coming years. WoW Classic, as I mentioned, but also the various Kickstarter MMOs, Star Citizen chief among them, but smaller ones like Crowfall, Ashes of Creation, etc. So what, if anything, would really keep you guys at least playing the game, playing this game, when there are new and old games on the horizon offering a reprieve from all the pay to win? Because just like I said above, I don't really see the long-term longevity of this game. Just curious. I jumbled a lot of that. It's 1 a.m. Give me a break. Okay, so game second and business first. Literally every game is like that. Every single game ever created ever, with the exception of like maybe Tetris, is a business first and a game second. That's how games work. To pretend like it's anything different for any game ever that's ever gotten semi-popular anyway, is very silly and ignorant. Sorry if that's a little harsh, but I feel like that's a very silly thing to say to try and argue that BDO bad, WoW Classic good. WoW is a company first and a game second, just like BDO. Trust me, they make a lot of money. They do it in a different way, and in an arguably less shady way, but it is a business.
Let's stop and think. They're literally about to re-release their own game, and it's not free.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, players have been asking for it for a really long time, so... Whoa, like...
I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I also think, like, if the BDO players stayed through the CC changes and all the pay-to-win additions now, like, I still don't think a 16-year-old game is going to be the death of it.
There's a snake and 2 Kaokai triple grinding Maehwams, question mark? What?
No, they're still in siege. You're interrupting their siege.
At Maehwams, yeah. So yeah. More pay to win? Yeah, naturally. This is a Korean MMO. If you started playing BDO with the expectation that it was not going to eventually become pay to win, I don't know what to tell you.
At least today. Like, you could have maybe had that hope in the beginning, but not today. So, yeah. I mean, the pay to win will kill it eventually, because people can't catch up. But, like, Crowfall and Ashes of Creation, are those games even coming out? Both of them have been delayed like 8 times.
So,
and then the samples of like the ones people played have not been super. And I feel like I'm white knighting for Black Desert, but I do feel like it's gonna die eventually, and it has its problems. But
Well, okay, it'll die eventually when an actually good new MMO comes out. And like we said last podcast, an MMO that can at least semi fill the niche that BDO has, which is the combat. Which is why, I mean, I jokingly referred to it, but speaking seriously, Kurtzspell, right? It's a very different game from BDO, but the niche that it has, that BDO also fills for a lot of players, is the action combat. Now, it might not be as intricate, but from the videos I've seen and from the reviews that I've seen from people that played BDO in the past, they say that it does feel good, it does feel like a good action combat system. Just sometimes it can be a little clunky, which, BDO isn't perfect either, and it's not as intricate, I would say. But it's got the action combat thing going for it, right? I'm not saying Kurtzspell is going to kill BDO, I'm just saying a good new MMO that fills the same niche as BDO comes out, BDO is dead in the water. I don't think that's any of these MMOs. I don't think that's WoW Classic. Well, I know that's not WoW Classic. I don't think that's Crowfall. I don't think that's AOC. I used to put my bet on AOC. They've been letting me down lately, so I don't think that's AOC anymore. So
they're not popular enough to abbreviate.
Oh yeah, that I
I'm with
forgot. AOC means something totally different in America.
Yeah, it does.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, crazy socialist lady.
Ooh.
Wow.
Whoa.
So to reply to, so what if anything would really keep you guys playing this game if they're new or old, etc., etc. Again, combat. Until a game that is, it fills the exact same niche as BDO does in terms of the combat, and is also a better game, I'm gonna keep playing BDO. Because if there's a game that's a better game but it's tap target, I'm not going to play it. If there's a game that's a better game but for some reason they're making it into a BR, I'm not going to play it. If it's a better game but it's Crowfall, I'm not going to play it because Crowfall sucks. So, yeah, that answers that. And if I sound like I'm shitting on your comment, dude, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like it, but there were a lot of things in here that I found were just kind of silly. And I think that's why you kind of got downvoted as much as you did. And this also turned into a huge discussion, which is good. And I'm glad it stayed relatively civil from what I read for the most part. Some people talking about Star Citizen, other MMOs, things like that. I'm glad it stayed pretty civil. But yeah, that's basically all that. And that's all the comments on the back of that whole rant. Who's pinging me in Discord? Don't ping me in Discord. Wait, I don't even have a notification. What the hell? Okay then. Moving on. First topic of the day. Frosty, what we got?
Dun. Oh, real quick, the Tri-Accessory event.
Yep.
I actually don't even know. We'll talk about the quests. They're tedious as shit unless you get Gahas.
Yep.
But I just kind of wanted your opinion on yay, nay for the event. Is it good? Is it bad for veterans and noobs?
I think it's really good.
Separately.
I think it's really good.
Okay.
I mean, its effects are a little diminished because of the way the marketplace is right now, right? Like, you can't sell your Crescent Ring for 50 mil like you could before Central Market. Right now, Crescent Rings are down to, 25? So, its effects are a little bit diminished, but, I mean, it's still a good event. Anything that puts more accessories is good, in my opinion, because accessories in the past, before Central Market, have always been such a bitch. So, anything that puts more accessories on the market is better, IMO.
Yeah, I agree.
The quest is tedious, though.
I like it. The quest is tedious. I just wish you could choose through spots instead of it choosing for you. But outside of that, yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I know some people are frustrated with the enhancement chance, but at the end, no matter what happens, as frustrating as it can be, you get a duo accessory, so hard to complain.
I have tinfoil that those enhancement rates on that item is bullshit. Because I have failed Pry so much. I legitimately, at this point, I must have a 10 to 15% success rate for Pry, which is supposed to be an 80%. I am very convinced, and I'm not the only person that has that issue. There's a lot of people that have been having it. I am very convinced that something is wrong somewhere. I'm just not sure what.
Yeah, for me it feels fairly normal, but yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's cool. You don't have to do really outside of the grind. You don't have to do any work. You could do your 8 enhancement attempts, and then you're done for the day. And after a week or whatever, you turn it in, you get your accessory, and you're done.
Yep. I just got 2 right now. Let's enhance them. Why not? Let's see what we do. I'm sitting on a pry. Let's see if it goes duo. It did not. And I got it back to pry, so.
Standard.
Yeah,
that's all. The accessory event's kind of interesting. For those who don't know, every single day you get a quest. When you finish the quest, you get a ring. Just for being logged in, you get these red moon shards. I think they change every time, so that way you can't use this ones we get today on the next accessory, but you get these moon shards and you use those to enhance as if they were stones. It doesn't affect your fail stacks. Fail stacks don't affect it in any way. And you have a chance to get an accessory. And if you get it to try, you can exchange it for a try accessory, and then you're done. You can do that once. If you don't get it to try at the end of the event, you can turn in all 6 accessories you get for a duo accessory. So, yeah, pretty cool. They're doing it for 3rd anniversary. They're going to do crescent rings this week. Narc earring, or I don't know actually the order they're going to do it, but it's going to be crescent
no, I
ring
think you're
1
right.
week.
I think it's Snarks, and then Bassies, and then Ogres.
Yeah. So, yep, good stuff. I like it. All right, cool. Let's move.
Moving
Move
on.
along. Onward.
Let me look. Next topic. We have such a special guest here today. The very famous, the very well known, the very sexy Nayashe.
Nayashe. Hey, Nayashe. Go ahead and
Nayashe.
unmute. Welcome to the show. He's coming in through satellite.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey
We're
man, we
doing
can
well.
barely see you over the feed. Man, you look so crazy.
Yeah, you're not what I thought you looked like.
For those who
Yeah, dude.
don't know, Nayashe is a very good Maehwa, very, very talented. He has a YouTube channel that will also be in the description down below. I have a lot of things to put in the description down below this this podcast. Also, lag, Jesus Christ. Nayashe, make sure you send me your YouTube channel so I can put that in the description down below. Don't make a liar out of me, please.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Let's get a quick introduction from you, Nayashe. How long you been playing BDO? How do people find you? Where are you from? Why do we know who you are before we ever met?
So, I guess I'll give the background. Basically, I started playing BDO about 2 months after Maehwa came out, and trying to decide on what class to play, kind of like the female blader, and stuck with it ever since. I don't re-roll. I pretty much pick one single character and stick with it. I try to do the best I can with it.
Gasp.
And that's pretty much what I do, so I don't re-roll at all. I don't even think I made a trial character yet, actually. But
Oh no. That's
but
good.
yeah, so and people kind of know about me, I guess, via my YouTube channel. Posted some videos on Reddit way back and made a Maehwa guide when there was very little content after the Maehwa awakening. Not very many people were making helpful guides. Maehwa community's kind of on the small side, and generally the people that know a lot, they don't tend to share a lot. So I pretty much made the guide based on that kind of premise, just to help out a lot of players, and had a lot of positive feedback. So that's pretty much where I'm known from, and I prioritize my content besides that one guide I did, trying to make a new guide. Everyone's giving me a whole bunch of hassle about that, but yeah, trying to wrap that up and doing a whole bunch of 1v1 videos so people can kind of see Maehwa and how it can deal with certain classes, any class. Basically, people put in a comment requesting X class. I try to find someone that's doing that class justice and then represent it in the video. That's
Real quick,
pretty
how
much
do you
me.
fare against berserkers?
Berserkers, I do pretty good. You
Really?
can ask my choice. I've fought quite a few times. He's pretty good, but he's really geared too. So, fought Coupon Man a couple times. Sent him to jail yesterday, actually. Um,
What's your APDP at right now?
267 or 263, 267, and DP is 296. So a little bit behind the quote unquote current soft cap for siege guilds, which is
Yeah.
roughly 269, 301.
I should have fought you before we started recording. I would have liked to fight you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're like the modern day Sausons grinder, basically, with that low B gear you have.
Yeah. basically. Yeah, I hold my own in history. Try to at least.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we wanted to bring you on, a few people have asked for Maehwa Musa discussion, similar to how people are asked for Archer Ranger. Reslar and I don't play those classes. I know Reslar has a tiny bit of experience on Musa. I have no experience on either. I actually did make a trial Maehwa, but it was super confusing and every skill looked the same. So I was like, "Yep, I'm done. I'm out."
That's pretty much the typical reaction lately.
Right. So I wanted to ask you a few things, kind of about balance in both PvE, PvP, and then in the subcategory of PvP, small scale, large scale, that sort of thing. So let's first start with PvE, since everyone kind of can PvE. I hear personally a lot of bad things about Maehwa. Maehwa's trash PvE. You're not going to make any money. You're not going to make any silver. So I guess starting from the low end, like if you're Gahas or Fogans, Nagas, how's Maehwa there? And then once you get to the high end, like Mantrams and History and Akhman, how is Maehwa there for you?
Yeah, so for Maehwa, there is a big stigma about Maehwa in the, I guess you want to say pre-Awaken days. So Media, pre-Valencia? I guess they released Valencia before Awakenings came out, and then they released Awakenings shortly after, in small waves for each class. But Maehwa's grind was considered really bad back then because she lacked AoE and her damage was kind of not really that good. You needed a lot of gear. I mean, you still need a lot of gear nowadays, but definitely improved with absolutes, for example. But early pre-awakening days, she was definitely struggling. So that stigma kind of stuck with her. She's actually not as bad as people think. And try to clear up that stigma the best I can when I see Reddit posts about that kind of stuff. In some instances, she can be pretty fast, if not as fast as Musa, like at Gahaz, for example. If you have similar AP, once you get to the point where you're one-shotting packs, it's all the same. The only thing you have different is mobility at that point. And they have cast animations of skills, and Maehwa has very comparable cast animations to Musa, so as long as you're just one-shotting packs with like Petal Drill, Red Moon, it's just chase at that point. So
Right.
Musa
So
might
one
have
of
a
the things
little bit more of an edge on little tidbits, but pretty much it's pretty
Right.
close.
At places like Gahas and Nagas, are the packs like small enough that they always actually hit? Because one of the things I hear is like you guys have this small cone in front of you, so you have to like target properly and aim, and it's really hard and slows you down. Is that the case or not? Not really.
Not really. The packs are really tight in Gahaz.
Mhm.
So you can do a really solid rotation. Cliff rotation's a very popular one for bladers. Because the packs can be somewhat distanced from each other, so it's not really attractive to a lot of other classes. So it's generally open for bladers. But an improved extended rotation would be like starting off at cliff, but then rotating kind of inward towards that crossroads section before you get into the deep valley, and then looping back up to Arsha spawn rotation, where everyone just PvPs all day, and then looping back to cliff. So yeah, I mean that's a pretty common rotation. And the tight, like I said, the packs are really tight. The skills aren't really that hard to aim. And the AoEs are just, they're plenty. Between Petal Drill, Petal Bloom, Moonrise, Red Moon. You can even incorporate Blooming and the Rabam Blooming Step. Those will all help out with mobility as well as AoE damage. I utilized them a lot when I was doing Gahos.
Okay, so in the high end, the two spots I'm kind of curious about because they play a little bit differently and probably have different strengths and weaknesses for Maehwa. But Mansions, do you ever grind at Mansions?
So Mansions, yes, I've grind there every once in a while, mostly when I'm bored of Histria or if I want to kind of get a little bit more PvP action in between my grind. But so his Mansions isn't actually as good for Maehwa, mostly because a lot of her abilities, even though they don't have it for PvP, they have PvE related knockdowns, and that just throws mob packs all around. Specifically the fighters and the hunters, those small guys. So it kind of makes it really bad for tight packs. And that's the main issue with her. They did a recent update to one of our skills, Petal Drill, to do a bound, which kind of sort of helps out with that in a way. But overall, it still doesn't really change too much of the fundamental issues. You can make up for it if you have enough AP and just not do the knockdown abilities, but you're kind of limiting your grind speed, I feel. So it's all about how much AP you have. If you have high enough AP, you can just burst the packs while they're being knocked down, and that's pretty much solves that problem, but it's still slower than, say, Musa, Zerker, probably Mystic.
All right. And then the end-all, be-all Histria. How's Maehwa there?
So Maehwa is definitely not the top, but she is in the top tier, if you will, for classes that grind in Histria. I, myself, am pretty bad at PvE. Working on it. But, yeah, I go in Battle Arena way too much. But we need that money, so we working on it. But yeah, Maehwa's probably in the top 5 as far as history is concerned. So yeah, I think Sork still kind of maybe has an edge, especially with BSRs recently. But Mystic for sure is top. And Musa, really, really, really high AP, I think can be competitive, if not better. It's really hard to say, but that's like 280 plus range. I mean, you're talking really high. But Maehwa can pretty much hold her own from like recommended 261 if you're using Nova and above, and she does pretty amazing in there for money.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know how much you've grinded there, but what do you generally make per hour without a loot scroll? Like if you're full buffed up and grinding.
I'd say probably on average around 50 mil. That might be a little generous, but
do you know your trash loot or not off the top of your head?
Nah, not off the top of my head. And mind you, I'm prefaced it with me being awful at PvE.
You're PvP. Yeah, so like I run into a lot of Maehwa is definitely up there. So I grind history a lot, being as I played Mystic and Sork the most. So yeah, whenever I'm in there, it's either I see a Mystic, a Sork, or a Maehwa. Like those are the 3 most common classes I see. Although 50% of my Maehwa encounters are nude on Arsha.
Yeah,
that dude's always in there.
Yeah, I haven't seen nude in a while, so.
Yeah, me neither actually. But he's always like, yeah, let's 1st to 5 for history. Let's do it.
Yeah, one of my videos is one of my first times exploring Histria, and then I run into Nude and get into a PvP fight with him. So that was fun.
Nice.
Super risky fights.
Right? Yeah, I know. That's one of the things. Like history on Arsha is, yeah, you get hit by those lasers.
Yeah.
And then you get knocked down, and if they don't kill you right away, the mobs do. So then PvP. So since you PvP, I guess we can start. I don't know, Resler, what are you more curious about? Like small scale, where should we start with PvP on the Maehwa?
I think I'm most curious about Maehwas and 1v1s because I feel like everyone kind of knows what Maehwas generally do in like large scale. So I think 1v1 and small scale is kind of more interesting for me, at least personally.
Okay.
Like what are the matchups for Maehwa? Like, what is Maehwa good against? What is Maehwa bad against? Like,
So, I guess basically the hardest matchup would be Lon, and that's just because the range grab is pretty amazing. Let's just put it that way. Um, and they have a number of super armor CCs. Super nice. Must be nice. But as far as the other matchups are concerned, Mystic and Striker can be pretty difficult if you don't know their openings. And Sork can be pretty challenging if you're reversing a skilled one. But most of the other classes aren't too bad to fight. Tamer can be pretty annoying if they're constantly just iframing and whatnot and not really being aggressive. But I hold my own versus Tamer. The Lons are the toughest matchup for me and trying to work on that. But overall, I think we're pretty balanced in terms of most of the fights. We can hold our own, but it's really ultimately knowledge based and obviously what you're physically capable of. If you're fat fingering keys, you're not going to get anywhere. But yeah, if you know what you're doing and you know the openings, you have a very competitive matchup against pretty much most classes.
and
Ninja specific.
what's
Ninja
kind of
specifically.
the easiest class to go up against? Like, what is Maehwa good against to you?
So to answer Frosty's quick question, ninjas aren't too bad for me, but it does require some quick finesse on dodging those block jump grabs. But as far as the easiest matchups are concerned,
This is gonna be controversial.
yeah,
You
this
gotta
is
be
gonna
careful
be
here.
this is gonna be dependent on the individual and the opponent, the actual player, the Maehwa player as well as the opponent. I would honestly have to say easiest matchup would be shoot. This is
Maybe
a
what are
tough
you
one.
least threatened by? Like when you see a class, which one specifically is like
Honestly,
you don't
Is it
aren't like,
DK?
oh
It's
man.
DK, isn't it?
no, DKs can be pretty challenging if you don't know what you're doing. Man, this is actually a really tough one. I actually never thought about the easiest matchup. I mean, I don't see a class and be like, oh, great, it's this class. Maybe Lawn. I think Lawn would probably be the closest thing I would say for that. But
Right. So, what class do you see in a grind spot, and you're just like, oh, this is my grind spot now, easy.
another Maehwa.
That's fair.
I mean, Sorks I can run in. Most Sorks I run into actually aren't really that skilled, and they're easy to catch in between their iframes, because it's really predictable movements and approaches. So those ones, I run into a lot of Mystics in Hystria, and I rarely have problems with Mystics in Hystria. So
Have you ever
for
clapped
me, it's
Frosty?
okay. I don't think I've ever fought Frosty.
So we actually did fight a few times in Valley of 4, but it was so long ago that I don't actually remember. Like it might have been before the CC changes.
Well, if it was back then, you probably would have had the edge on me for sure, because I still was learning the kit at some point
Yeah.
during
I
that
don't
time.
remember. I don't remember any results. I just remember we like had run into each other randomly, and it was like shortly after that I found out that you had YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
All
I
right.
mean, Mystics nowadays I generally have a very competitive matchup with. I
At the
actually
end of
have-
this podcast, if we have a
Did he
little bit of
clap
time, we're all going in
Frosties?
Battle Arena.
Alright, that sounds good.
So
Yeah.
hopefully they're watching this, or at least the end of this on YouTube, or they can look it up after they listen to it, I guess.
Speaking of which, I'm in there now, not grinding history.
Oh my god, dude.
So
So small
yeah.
scale.
Yeah, small scale. Like
Small
3v3s, 5v5. We kind of define small scales like less than 10v10 or less. But basically like 3v3s, 4v4. Like, like
Yeah,
GVGs where it's not getting out of hand yet.
Once you start to get into 10 people, then yeah, it kind of gets more of the beyond small scale part. You start looking at large scale flex groups with that kind of numbers. But so small scale Maehwa does really well. Mostly because the biggest problem with Maehwa is if she is the center of attention, that is not good for her. And that's what a lot of people struggle with on the class. If I were to name some of the main struggles, stamina management, which can in turn be translated into engaging, disengaging, as well as being the primary focus target for other players. So if she's being focused, she's having to run a lot more, and she's going to run out of stamina really quickly. So I would say she does really well in small scale because, like I said, she's just not the focus target generally.
Um, so I guess with large scale, like I know it's pretty or like fairly well known, like, oh, Maehwa's not good. Like I read constantly, Maehwa sucks in large scale, they're useless in large scale. So in their current form, what is kind of their role in large scale, at least for you? Like when you're in a guild, you're in 60 versus 60 or higher. Are you're just on flex and you're poking, you're diving into the base? Are you ever with the main ball? Like what's kind of Maehwa's role there?
Yeah, so basically they're primarily flex, anti-cannon kind of stuff. Kind of sort of the lawn treatment in a way, sadly, but at the
Flame
same
tower?
not that
Yeah,
bad,
flame
but not quite
tower?
that bad. But yeah, primarily flex and just killing cannons, because the mobility and being proficient at 1v1s, as well as semi small scale kind of stuff, she can deal with 1 to 2 opponents usually, depending. But if she gets any more than that, there's too much attention. The moment she catches someone, she can't really combo them because we're very limited on our protected uh, chainable skills. I
Right.
guess is the best way to go about it. So, and that's basically her role. Like, so in a flex group, for example, you can provide CCs because your Maehwa has a lot of CC options in her kit,
Mhm.
which is why Mooses would generally say that Musa has a far better catch potential than a Musa. Um, so she can offer that for flex groups for her flex to capitalize with her on. So she's not being the focus target. If she lands a CC on someone, she can set it up for everyone else, and then work with the team on getting those kills. She can also provide damage support. So we do have some protected damage skills like Pedal Drill, Red Moon, and those are pretty much one of the main ones that we offer up in a flex group. Sad to say that it's only those, but you can do some of the other skills too. But yeah, that's pretty much her roles in flex group.
Right. So I know that this is a little bit harder to answer because I mean, God, you could go a million different ways with it. But first, is in your opinion, is Maehwa kind of weak in large scale? And if it is, and you could buff it, like what would need to change um in order for Maehwa to be kind of closer to either Musa or something that people consider better in large scale?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I do have a community post that I put in the BDO forums a while back that actually goes over this very topic. Um, Basically, the things that she would need to make her more viable, not that she isn't viable, but more viable in terms
Hmm.
of being competitive in large scale, would just be um, more super armor related damage abilities for not just necessarily damage trading, but that as well, but more or less just to get more damage in and offer more to a fight rather than only utilizing a couple skills and then backing off and waiting for another opportunity. That would be my main biggest concern. The next concern would be like, and I'm sure Mooses would agree with this as well, but Chase Stamina nerf way back. I think it was November. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was maybe November. That was pretty devastating for a lot of players that played the Blader classes, be it Maehwa or Musa. And a lot of them, just because of that alone, was enough for them to re-roll to other classes. Just
Wait,
'cause-
whoa.
I think it was prior to November.
You can't use Blader and then not call Maehwa a plum. All right, hold the phone. You
He's
either
right.
call them Musa and Maehwa or Blader and Plum. Listen,
Yeah.
Well, I meant Blader as in the Plater classes. 'cause
I
they-
know
they
what
both
you're
use
trying to
Blader,
skew
so-
this as. You're trying to hide the fact that you play a plum. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, the plum. I never
The
really
plum.
referred to her like that, even though that was a very commonly used way to describe her back then, because I think it was the Russian name for her.
Was
Can't
it just
remember.
Russian? I thought it was the Korean one.
I thought it was
Well,
just
it
the
kinda
Korean
stuck.
name translated into English was Blader and Plum.
I was always
Oh,
under
I
the
see.
assumption it was the Russian translation and kind of just stuck. But yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
maybe it was KR.
No, Plum Awakenings. I remember watching the video before I
Yeah.
started playing again. Yeah, so one of my things with like, all right, so you mentioned like protected, just kind of damaging abilities, super armor, whatever. So one of the things, like when I think about Kuno, because Kuno's obviously good and has a fairly well-rounded kit, but in large scale, like with the main ball, for example, if a Kuno goes into the main ball, a Kuno has a pretty decent, actually a really good as far as time in super armor rotation, where you can rotate like half moon slash, spin spree, and then you can tenon cutter. Like you have a way to kind of rotate super armors, and then the flow for spin spree, like if you wanted to, but like on a Kuno compared to say a wizard, witch, mystic, striker, or even a Zerker, like you die so fast. So would super armor even be enough for you to kind of participate in a large scale fight, or would it need something
Yeah.
else?
No, I get what your point is. I mean, so the reason why I say we need more damage options in terms of protected damage is because right now we have to sit back and wait so much in terms of like being able to offer more damage to a fight. Otherwise, we're completely unprotected with more than half our kit. Probably more like 90% of our kit, which I know a lot of classes got that same treatment. So I'm not trying to, cry about it or anything. But as far as like what Maehwa's job is, like, and Kuno's should be arguably in the same kind of position. They should be prioritizing flex-oriented positions rather than main blob. But they do have more protected damage options, so I could see them maybe helping on the outskirts of a blob more. But as far as flex goes, you're not taking a whole bunch of damage generally, So you're
Right.
getting like even a flex on flex fight for argument's sake would be like 10 on 10 versus like maybe 20 on 20 at most in extreme cases. Like Black Rose has a pretty large flex group, right? So
I'm not allowed to see, so I'm not sure. I'm
Oh.
stuck in Platoon 1, man.
oh,
Can't
re-
go anywhere.
re-
Yeah,
Um,
they know Frosty's a spy, so they don't let him know anything.
Yeah.
They don't tell me.
I
they
mean,
don't tell me
it's basically that concept though. Like we're not really taking a whole bunch of damage. The problem is we usually just get killed because we get caught in a CC because we run out of options.
Right. Okay. So, do you think the general majority of Maehwas feel like they want to be a part of that main ball, or they'd be happy if they were just a viable / strong class and flex?
So back in before they did all the changes to super armors and CCs and all that, Maehwa did kind of approach the main ball like as far as the outskirts, which isn't the role of what the class is intended for. So she's supposed to be a flanker. She's supposed to be like as far as like flanking on the outskirts of the ball, like catching people that are jumping out and whatnot. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But jumping into the ball itself, no, that's not what she's intended for. She's squishy just like Kuno, so she'll get
Yeah.
blown up. But I mean, I guess I more or less forgot the question at this point.
Well, I guess so in order to like have fun in Node War, because you pick your class way before you even realize what that class's job is in Node War, especially if you've invested money in weight, costumes and stuff, and you spend all that time grinding. So sometimes, like let's say Maehwa gets to 62, they're nearing soft cap, they finally join a Node War guild, and then they find out that they're good. Like let's say some balance changes happen, and now Maehwa is completely viable as flex. They're pretty strong. They don't really have huge complaints, but is that enough being in flex, or do they want to be part of the main ball? Like, would you be happy if you're just good in flex, and that's it?
Honestly, yeah, I would be happy just being really good at flex. Like, um, she can work in flex fine, but she definitely still needs a little bit of quality of life. I would call them quality of life changes.
Yeah.
And just make the time a little bit easier. And like the skills I'm referring to are like Petal Bloom, for example. That's one of our main damage skills that we used to have back before the CC super armor changes. That was one of our main ways of dealing with 1vx scenarios, with
Right.
when not having 100% Black Spirit Rage. And it also allows us to offer up support in a, you know, small scale or flex related fight. So it just makes it more enjoyable when you can actually offer more to the kit. When you have to sit back so much, a lot of players can find that frustrating, which is what most players rolled off the class for.
Right.
So I mean, I think if they did like just 1 or 2 changes based on like one of the posts that I did, I think you'd see a complete re-roll back from a lot of different players. I've already seen those kinds of comments in Discords, forum posts, Reddit posts already. Like, there's definitely a huge player base there that's wanting to be back on the class.
Right.
If they've re-rolled off. Or the ones that are still currently playing, they would love to have at least a little bit of opportunity to offer more in terms of their flex group and whatnot.
All right. So two more quick questions before we move on to something else. One, and Rezar, maybe you've noticed this too. What happened to your guys 100%? Like, I feel like the first 2 years of playing BDO, it was like, okay, here's a Maehwa, get ready to be 100%ed, and now I almost never see it. What the hell changed there? Why don't I see the 100%? Did it get nerfed? Does it do less damage? What the hell?
I think DPs just rose.
Well, I mean, I find that interesting that you haven't really seen it much. Maybe because of the lack of Maehwas that are playing the class, honestly, lately.
Maybe. It's still good, though? It's still like, oh, if I have my 100% up, you feel like you
it's
can just take someone out?
better than what it used to be.
Ah,
So when they did, I believe it's when they did the CC changes, they took away super armor from all the skills and everything, but for some reason they did a hidden buff to Maehwa's 100%. I don't know if you remember, but the cast animation was like really long before. So like Zerkers, for example, they could be like lol and grab you. And
right.
yeah, it just like ruined a Maehwa's day basically, because you would be sitting there charging up for like 4 fucking seconds just to do your 100%. But
And it used to be frontal guard, too, right? Or
it
am I
would
crazy on
be
that?
no,
Or was
it
it-
was always super armor,
It
but
was always
the
super-
problem
okay.
the problem was it ended the super armor really quickly after you did the attack. So you'd be
Yeah.
CC'd and killed almost immediately.
Yeah.
So what they did, they hit and buffed it. They reduced the cast animation by like fucking 75% of it. And so it's really fast animation now. Like most time, if you do it right on top of someone, they don't have time to react, unless they're like really paying attention.
Right.
So you can jump in with like Petal Drill, for example, which is super armor, and then do a 100% Petal Bloom right away. And that's usually how you see Maehwas engage a flank of like a ball, for example, to try to kill off 3 or 4 people. And the linger is better now, so you actually don't get caught and killed immediately after doing your stab. So it's a lot better than what it used to be.
Rez, do you see the 100% much? Or do you even know what I feel like I used to see it so much. It would be like, oh shit, I'm about to get 100%ed by Maehwa.
I don't see Maehwas very much, and when I do see them, they usually just die. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Um,
most Maehwas probably are still struggling, honestly. Like you have the ones that are in siege guilds, like say Airy, for example, and Black Rose, um, that still play the class and whatnot, and they do really well. Once you know your kit and you know your opponent's kit, you can do really well. But if they're still kind of struggling with some of the aspects of it, like the finesses, being able to combo properly and whatnot, then yeah, it's not gonna be a fun time.
Right.
yeah. So really quickly, I don't want to dwell too long on it because this is already going pretty long, and we got one more thing we need to talk about. But like, what are, in your opinion? And I know you said that you were gonna be not super informed on Musa, but in your opinion, what are kind of the biggest differences between Musa and Maehwa? What is, Maehwa better at than Musa, vice versa? If you know, like, what are your thoughts on that?
So as a pretty generalized, summed up version of it, Maehwa's
Hell
better
yeah.
at picks, at being able to get those quick CCs, because we just have more in our kit that offer those kinds of options. Like Musa Shout's really slow activation versus Maehwa's Oppression, which is really fast. Um, Same skill, just they do different types of CCs and the animation difference. Um, our Awakening kit has more. Has Stigma, for example, which is a really fast CC option. Unprotected on the actual stab, but I guess the Musa equivalent would be their Fiery Angel, which is definitely CCable. Um, and also pretty visually leading, like it lets you know it's coming basically. Um,
Right.
and then so that, I mean, that would basically wrap up picks. Besides that, you got the pre-awakened kits, which are essentially the same. Besides Red Moon, which Red Moon's far superior to Rising Storm in terms of catches, mostly because of the frontal guard. But
Right.
then you have Musa obviously being a lot better at damage trading. I'm sure you guys have experienced getting hit by a really high AP BTB from a Musa.
Below the
Below
belt, for anybody
yeah.
who doesn't know.
Oh yeah.
I always get hit by the butt cruster, dude. That's the one
Oh
that
yeah.
gets
The
me.
There's
butt
that too.
cruster.
So
Uh,
as a running joke, I like to make it like Musa's crust Crust Crusher and Foul Play are essentially, yeah, trying to remember the damn names, actually using the abbreviations all the time. Crust Crusher and Foul Play is essentially like a 20-second cooldown version of Maehwa's 100% to give you a reference. So
Right.
they can
Okay.
offer a lot more damage right now, especially in the ball, which is why Maehwa pretty much sticks to flanking and
so
that flex.
a good while ago, I heard somebody give a very brief generalization of the differences between the classes as Musa is really, really good at PvE and pretty good at PvP. Maehwa is really, really good at PvP and okay at PvE. Does that still kind of hold up, or do you think it's different?
I would say that for the most part holds up, but once you start getting the higher gear scores, it kind of sort of flip flops. Um, so at lower gear scores, Musa kind of struggles with the damage trading, right? So they do okay. I mean, they can still do a lot of damage with Crust Crusher and Foul Play because the skill's fucking ridiculous. But um, Maehwa can still combo very well, and she's all about the catches anyways. So the game pretty much doesn't change for her until really late with high end AP. Then you can just Red Moon someone and they die. But I would say, yeah. I mean, Moose is always going to be good at PVE, just because they're never going to nerf it. And PvP wise, I would say Moose is a lot better than it used to be. Um, and Maehwa's, I would say, not just okay. I would say it's good at PvE, especially when you get to Hystria. And that can definitely get you a lot of money. And then PvP wise, she does well in her realm. Let's just put it that way.
Right. So, if somebody was trying to debate between like the two classes, like a new player, they're like, I kind of like both these classes, but I'm not sure which one I want to play. What would you kind of say to them to try and sway them towards the Maehwa side?
Maehwa's much more interactive and less brain dead playstyle.
Hell yeah, Musas are noobs.
Well, I mean,
I'm kidding.
yeah, but most Musas that have either played Maehwa before or they tried Maehwa, they've actually messaged me. I've had a lot of messages like this, like, I just love the Maehwa fucking playstyle so much more, and I don't have any experience on Musa other than maybe a little bit of pre-awaken stuff, but it's essentially the same as Maehwa. But as far as the awakening goes, they say Maehwa's just far more interactive, and more rewarding. But I will admit, with obviously the lacking damage trading skills, you essentially have to work more for your kill. So,
Right. Huh.
so I
Very
guess it
interesting.
just comes down to that. Do you want to feel more rewarded for each kill, or do you just want to like, I essentially feel like you're given kills?
For me, it comes down to one of them's ice and the other one's fire, and ice animations just look way better in every game in the history of all game.
Disagree.
Yeah, I see. I heard you say that at one point. You said you wouldn't mind playing Maehwa if it was fire or something like that.
No,
No, Musa.
I would play if the Musa was ice, I would play that in a second. And then
Oh,
conversely,
that's right,
if the
that's right.
striker was water and the mystic was fire, I would have invested time in the striker. I just do
Yeah.
not like fire animations in games. They're just
That's right. That's right. That's what you said.
tired, boring. They're so boring. Especially the Musa
That's-
ones. They're all the same spinny fire circle.
Yeah, I can see your point on that. I mean, Maehwa has some very graphically pleasing animations. That's for sure. I feel like they could do a little bit more, but I think it looks really good.
They need a
So-
ranged ice skill that drops from the sky.
That would be amazing. No,
Yeah.
what I'm surprised they haven't given Maehwa is a freeze skill. Like, she's literally ice.
Oh yeah, that's actually kind of funny.
Like, why is there no kind of freeze
Yeah.
skill? Like,
She's
I'm
the
just
only
surprised by it.
class in the game that's based 100% on ice, and she doesn't have a skill that freezes.
Yeah.
That's actually
well,
kinda funny.
50%.
Yeah. But like,
Well,
it's
yeah.
just it's kind of baffling to me that they didn't even think about that. Like, we even have skills, sticky snowflake.
I mean, they don't do that for a lot of things, though. I think that would be very cool. But, like,
Yeah.
Musa and Striker don't inflict, like, burn on people necessarily with all their fire skills. You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
Mystic doesn't inflict slippery, you know? I don't know.
And thank God, because Slippery is broken, dude.
She doesn't... What's the thing that happens in rain? It,
You
like,
just-
reduces your AP? Mystic doesn't reduce your AP. At least I hope it doesn't.
No,
Yeah,
they
I don't
should.
think
That
so.
might
Well,
explain
they
a lot
kinda
of
do.
things, actually.
With their magic DP, in a way they
Yeah,
do.
that might explain a lot of things, actually, if they did.
When fighting a mystic, you just randomly trip.
Right. Inflict Slippery.
Berserkers don't
Yeah.
just cause concussions by slamming people on their heads.
Yeah. Jesus.
So, being that it's 2 a.m. for Reslar, we should probably move on because the last topic is super important. But we can, since we're talking about Maehwa, we can kind of start on the Maehwa res if you're ready to talk about BSR.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely need to get to it because it's super important and kind of a letdown to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys share that, but what's the BSR for Maehwa? Is it good? Is it bad? What is it? Tell us.
Well, let's start with the basics of BSR, Black Spirit Rage, what it is. So right now,
okay, fine.
I mean,
We'll do it your way.
Right. We've always had 100% and 200% Black Spirit Rage skills, which are ultimate of certain abilities. But now we have a 10% version. Every class has a 10% version, 25% version, and a 50% version, and they all kind of do different things. Although most of the 50% versions add back skills that were already normal skills in the game. But
yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I
think they
guess
just ran out of options at that point. Like, how do
Right.
we implement something new?
without
Okay, we'll just
admitting
take
we were
everything
wrong.
away and then give it back.
Right. Yeah. Take
Best
everything away. Give
deal
it back.
ever.
So yeah, what are the Maehwa? We can start with the Maehwa and Res. I'm curious if you tested out all the striker ones, both PvE and PvP, and I can talk about the Sork ones. I haven't really tested the Mystic ones, but they seem fairly lame. But so yeah, the Maehwa ones. How are the Maehwa Black Spirit Rage skills?
I'd say if I were to grade them, probably about a 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So, so in terms of what they offer and damage, it's really high damage.
Mhm.
As far as usability, I would give it probably more like a 3 out of 5, honestly. Like, because
Okay.
so like the keybinds are awkward, and that's the only reason why I'm saying that, because they, for some god awful reason, they decided it was a brilliant idea to add 2 of our BSRs with using right click to activate it. Which, if you know, right click is our chase. So, what happens sometimes if you kind of get a little bit hasty on that right click, you just start chasing instead of doing your ability. So, kind of awkward. And that's on 2 of our skills, which is the Sticky Snowflake BSR, which is the 10%. Really high damage output. So if you do the keybinds correctly and, no problems there, fantastic. I'm sure it works amazing for you. Doing it in live combat can be pretty difficult, though, if you're, not focusing on your key sequencing.
Right. So what does it do exactly?
So basically, it just quote unquote increases the range, but honestly, we use it in combos anyway, so it's not like they're going to be far away from us.
Right. Okay.
And it increases the damage like by a ton. I can pretty close to one-shot people with soft cap gear with just that 10%.
Wow.
When you crit stack, which in live combat is very easy to do. So, the 25% is actually the easiest BSR to activate. Really strong. It allows you to instantly burst someone down. If you have the relevant AP. But Cloud Stab's really strong right now as a 25%. It's definitely viable in large scale. It's not protected, but the BSR makes it so that you kill someone much quicker, so you're less likely to get CC'd from comboing someone. Because the longer you have to extend your combo that's unprotected, obviously, more opportunity to be CC'd. So that helps. And it's really easy key sequence, like I said. So, and then the 50% is Moonrise, which they gave us back super armor on it, which is nice. They changed up the animation, which was an interesting choice. But it's actually pretty good, if used correctly. The problem is this is also one of those skills that has right-click for its activation of the BSR, so yeah.
Right.
Could be awkward if you start chasing mid-combo.
Yeah, Zerker has something similar where our 25% is our Titan Blow, which is like this charge up, and then in the normal version of the skill, you charge up this attack, and then you do these 3 hits. Well, the BSR turns it into one thing, but the thing is to do the BSR, you have to click left click. The issue with that is that whenever you're charging Titan Blow, if you click left click while charging Titan Blow like normally, it'll fire Split Shot, which is the flow that normally comes after Titan Blow.
What?
So you kind of have to get it timed perfectly where you aren't going to accidentally fire Split Shot. It's like a certain window that you have to do the key in before you would normally do Split Shot. If you mess it up by even a half a second, not only are you not going to use your BSR skill, but you're going to blow Split Shot. So,
standard.
That's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I can see that being pretty annoying.
As far as Zerker BSR though, 2 out of 5. Not super useful.
Why is
like
that?
the Titan I know I literally just complained about the Titan Blow one, but that's actually the only one that's like really good in my opinion. If you get like a stiffen or something, like a stun, which there's not a lot of those that exist in our kit, but if you manage to get that, it's really good. It does an absolute shit ton of damage, and it turns the normally 3-hit animation, very long drawn out animation, into one single hit. So that's really nice. It is still unprotected, but the fact that it turns it into one hit makes it pretty nice. The Slugfest change puts a lot of CC, actually 2 of them, on Slugfest, which is nice for Zerkers that don't have a lot of gear and Node War a lot, because it's a nice, decently ranged, good AoE, 2 CC ability, one at the beginning and then one like at the end, basically. So it's actually pretty good if you don't have a lot of gear, but if you have a lot of gear, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to use it, because it doesn't do a lot of damage, and you're better off just using your 100. So, yeah, and the 10% is garbage. As far as Striker goes, I mean, I don't main Striker, but from what I was messing around with, I'd probably give that like a 1 out of 5.
Oh no.
They all
Really?
seemed not super good. The only one that seemed like, I can see why this one's pretty good, is the 50%, which is putting the bound back on dropkick. But even then, like, Striker ult is such a useful, like, ult, just like Zerker ult. It's like, why would you opt to use the 50% just to bound a group of people when you can just ult that group of people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know if it'd be super worth it, but again, maybe Striker mains will disagree. I'm not a Striker main. I just play it casually, trial character stuff. So I don't main it. So
Yeah, that
I guess
actually,
I should have
yeah.
rated the Maehwa one based on the 100%. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
would you use any of them instead of the 100%?
So Maehwa absorbing and using the actual 100% in large scale, for example, would probably honestly just be more useful and what a lot of people would actually say, but I can see situational usage for the other 3. More or less the Cloud Stab one, and probably not so much the others. The Moonrise one I need more time to actually practice with and see how it'll work. But I feel like it could help out with some 1vx scenarios, especially in large scale, which we find ourselves in a lot. So, I don't know. I would say for now, until I have more testing and practice with it, the 100% and absorb is probably just quote unquote best.
Right.
I mean, just like the Zerker, the 100% is meant to just kill 2 or 3 people.
So the Sork ones are, there's a little bit of a debate amongst Sorks about violation until some testing gets done and someone kind of brings up some numbers, because the violation one it's a little bit more damage. It's 1 extra hit on the spin, 1 extra hit on the last slash, but it also gives you 10 AP for 20 seconds upon using the skill, and reduces the AP of targets you hit by 10 for 20 seconds on good hits. And sorry, actually that's the 25% version. My mistake. That's not the 10%. The 10% is turnback slash, which is useless. So the violation one though is interesting because, and I would love to know the math on this, but like, let's say you're grinding Histria or Mantrams or anywhere where you'd absorb your 100% every time you have it available to kind of keep your damage up. This violation, now, you obviously use violation for grinding, so you're going to be using the skill anyway. And with this Black Spirit Rage 25%, you do a little bit more damage just from the skill itself, plus you get to boost yourself 10 AP almost permanently if you're at a place where you're killing fast enough. So that part's kind of interesting. Grim Reaper Judgment is like just straight up like the best Black Spirit Rage skill in the game, probably.
Oh
Like,
god, that skill is just disgusting right now.
Of the 10, 25, and 50% ones that we just got added, the Black Spirit Rage or the Grim Reaper Judgment is so good. And like you were saying, Nayashe, with the stupid keybinds, they're so bad. Like some of them are
Yeah.
so bad. The violation one is super confusing, and the turnback slash one also is kind of like you. I don't know. You press LMB as well, but it's like so random. I don't know. It's like it conflicts with so much other shit, especially on violation. So it's kind of confusing and hard to use. Maybe I'm just bad at it, and someone needs to teach me. But luckily the
That's how I feel.
yeah, luckily the Grim Reaper Judgment one is absolutely easy to use because all you have to do is when you start charging Grim Reaper, like right the moment you start charging it, you press Shift and it'll cast the Black Spirit Rage version instead
Yeah,
of
at least you
charging.
got a little indicator that you actually started a skill with the charge up. See,
Yeah,
like the Sticky Snowflake one and the Moonrise one, there's nothing like that, so it's kind of just like you just do it, and if
right.
you fuck it up, you're done.
So the damage, like testing, it's just straight up better than a charged Grim Reaper Judgment, and it's so fast, and the AoE is increased. So yeah, I was talking with a few Sorks about it, and a lot of Sorks are just straight up gonna lock Black Hole, unless someone's running through a choke or a small area or a space, or they're tightly compact. It's really, really, really unsafe to use Black Hole, and most people can get out of it fairly easily. So I'm kind of on board with them.
Yeah,
Like
Black Hole really died off over
it
the
did.
last
I
year.
don't even know what it is that changed exactly. Because I mean, I could see
Mystic.
if missed it. Well, yeah. Once you saw how good the vacuums on other classes were, it's like, well, yeah. I don't know. So I really, really like the new Grim Reaper Judgment. The animation is nice. The sound effect is nice, and watching people's HP dip that fast is nice. So. And
I
it has
bet.
super armor for the entire animation.
Yeah,
Ink-
it's Grim Reapers is really strong right now.
Yeah, that one's good. I hope it doesn't get nerfed. I don't think it will, since it's been in, like, this exact version has been in Korea for like 7 months now, but we'll see.
It's super. See, like Grim Reapers used to be like that kind of meme for Sork, where basically if you cast it, you're dead.
Right.
So
Now
now
it's
it's
the
like
opposite.
shit. Now you're playing Russian roulette with this damn skill.
Yeah. Have you guys, Reza or Nayashe, tested or seen any of the other ones from other classes?
I seen that the Musa ones are actually pretty strong. At least the backdash slash, and that's improved their PvE even more. Lol.
Yeah.
And as far as the BTB, I mean, it's irrelevant. It's already doing a lot of damage. It does abound now and more damage. Yay.
Wizards and witches both seem really good, unsurprisingly.
What are the
Yeah,
Wizards,
actually, I heard the
Wizards,
same.
Wizards maybe a little bit less so, just because they're 100% actually useful, unlike witches. Like, witch is like, why would you not just use 50% thunderstorm so you can get your CC back on it? There's no reason not to use it, honestly.
Right. Plus extra damage. I think it's 3 more hits, right?
Yeah, and then on Wizard, your 50% gives you forward guard back on Hellfire, which is super nice. My only thing is I don't know if you would use that whenever the 100% is, like, pretty good.
Right.
So it's like,
It
I
might
don't
be
know if
just one of
that's
those
exactly worth it.
situational things when you need a frontal guard.
Also, I think, I'm not positive, but I think I saw their 25% is Cataclysm, which is like, why? Like, why would you make Cataclysm do more damage? That's so weird.
I mean, the same could be said about Below the Belt for Moose, but yeah, now I feel you.
Yeah, they should have. I'm actually torn on that too, because at first I thought I saw the Cataclysm one, and I was like, wait, why would they put that on a skill? And I actually felt this way about Sork too. Like, why is it on skills that we already use? Like, the only skills Sork uses Violation, Termax Slash, and Grim Reaper's Judgment and their Awakening. So why is it on those? And then I played on the Kuno, and they put it on Sosprey Sonin. And then I was like, oh, that's why. Because no one's going to use it on these shit skills. It's so bad. The Kuno ones are absolutely offensive. Like, I'm actually offended by the Black Spirit skills they put on that class. Like, it upsets me to no end. First of all, the Lunar Dash one is a joke. It adds more damage to the Lunar Dash, which every single Kuno has just conceded Lunar Dash is a movement skill that you use to go either towards your enemy if they're really, really far away to kind of close the gap but not get all the way to them, or to run to the sides or away. And they put more damage on it, so yay for nothing. And then Sosri Sonin is just most Kunos save their skill points and put it in pre-awakened skills that are actually good. And then the last one is Chain Crash, which it adds super armor and a little bit of damage, but the skill animation's so slow, and it's the 50%. You would never use that over like flash slash 100%, or even the regular Wheel of Wrath 100%. So yeah, the Kuno ones make me mad.
Yikes, dude.
Feels bad.
I know the ninja one adds float to katana shower, which was
Yeah,
kind of,
which apparently is busted. That's what I've been hearing.
like in a good way.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like Sammy who plays ninja, he said he didn't really like it that much, but I mean they're 100%. They're kind of in the same boat as Sork, and well, like where the 100% is just not that great right now, so it might be better to use. So one of the things I was thinking about with these Black Spirit Rage skills is and I'm actually kind of curious if you guys feel this way too, is so when you 1v1 friends and stuff in Battle Arena, or even not friends, but you 1v1 people, most people don't 100% each other in Battle Arena, right? Like, it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Or
I
it's
would
agreed
agree.
upon.
Right, or it's agreed upon.
beforehand.
It's pretty abnormal to get 100% when you're 1v1ing a friend, unless they're like trolling or a joke, like just last minute. But the 50% and 25% and 10% aren't that way, at least not yet. Like, would you guys be offended if someone hits you with the 50% Grim Reaper Judgment?
Nah. I mean,
No.
I need to get used to it. And I look at it this way. Any skill that is on my kit
Mhm.
is free to use, essentially. Like E-buffs, Z-buffs, anything like that. And BSR skills would be the same kind of principle. Because when I fight someone in open world, when I'm trying to defend my damn spot, I need to know how to deal with those if I come across them. So I like it in a sense of, practicing it. But a lot of people try to make it like, oh, well, that's not fair, whatever. But in BA, you're just dueling. It's all for practice. There is
Right.
nothing that you're risking. It's not like you're in a tournament. You're not, trying to get your ranking up. So, I mean, I think it's whatever. Like, if people complain, then that's just silliness.
So you don't want to do no pot duels against a Sork? BA?
Am I going to run into a Sork in open world that does no pots?
Duh, most Sorks hate using pots, dude. No.
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah.
that's my take on it.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I still like, I don't absorb my 100% ever in Battle Arena. I guess you could.
I only
don't-
do it if I see my opponent do it. I don't really care if my opponent does it,
Right.
but my stance has always been, look, if you class buff, I'm class buffing. You don't want me to do that. If you consume your rage, I'm consuming my rage. You don't want me to do that. If you ult me, I'm ulting you. You don't want me to do that.
Yeah, the
It's
Q
like
up.
when so there's actually in some of my videos I used to do this. Do it every once in a while, but I have the AP now where I don't really need to do it. I would fight people that were typically stronger than me in my older vids. I still fight people that are pretty strong now, but AP brackets and whatnot. But I couldn't one combo a lot of people, so what I would do is I would make it quote unquote fairer and more reasonable. So like Maehwa buff, it gives you attack speed buff, crit buff, and an accuracy bonus. So basically, your hits are gonna hit really hard. So what I would do is I wouldn't use it until I actually got them in a stun lock. So I would do one of my stuns, and I would then pop it because the stun duration is plenty of time for me to pull it off. So I E-buff in between the stun, and then combo them and kill them that way. So that was called the Nayashe special by some of my fellow Maehwas. They were saying it is because I was just... They're like, wow, you're being such an asshole using E-buff and Z-buff on people. I'm like, whatever. Like, come on. It's just dueling in BA. It's nothing serious.
It means everything.
So, yeah,
You're
apparently.
wrong.
If been totally wrong about this the whole time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, Reslan, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that about wraps it up. Do we have anything
We
else?
crossed the 2-hour mark. I think this is a first for us.
Did we pass
We
it?
did.
We did. We're just barely past it right now.
Yeah.
It is 2:30 a.m.
This is now no longer a podcast, but rather a long-form story.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to take a rain check on those 1v1s, Nayashe. If you want to do some tomorrow, if you're available, I'd be down.
I'll be streaming tomorrow, so yeah.
Yeah. And then I can record it, and I'll just kind of throw that into the video, like, right now.
すぐ新選組を離れて療養した方がいい。空気のきれいな場所でゆっくりと。
新選組を離れる。それはできません。
Just a legend. Just a story. A story to scare little kids. But
Wow, look at that. Weren't those 1v1s great? I don't know how many we did, but they were amazing. They were so much fun. I probably got my ass kicked. But,
Oh, the poor viewers. There's gonna be nothing there.
2 hours and they wait for this moment, and then they just get nothing. Black screen, instant shutdown.
But, man, thanks a lot for coming and hanging out with us, Nayashe. Really appreciate it. It was a really good time. You know, maybe we can do it again sometimes. Talk about some other shit, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
some Maehwa buffs come through. We'll have you back on, talk about them or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you guys having me on.
No problem, man. Frosty, you got anything you want to say to the peoples?
Same old. Like and subscribe, you know? Double tap that heart thing on our Instagram.
We don't have an Instagram.
Oh, I mean on our Facebook.
We don't have a Facebook.
So on Reddit.
We don't post on Reddit anymore.
Alright. Like our YouTube video.
Did you announce the Discord again?
I was about to. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, subscribe.
Continue, Frosty. Continue.
Subscribe via your favorite podcast app if you want. We do have that available. That'll be in the YouTube video. It'll be on the Discord. I'll post it in there, kind of in the announcements, and I'll pin it in general and announcements so everyone has it. And I'm looking into the iTunes thing, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna see if I can't convince iText to help me with the artwork stuff. But yeah. Also, if you have questions, suggestions, that sort of thing, let us know in YouTube comments or on the Discord, please. We are happy to respond to it. That kind of stuff is really fun for us. And that's it, yeah. And don't make people feel bad for playing Striker and Mystic. It's you who's bad, not them, okay?
Unless they're Frosty, then harass them relentlessly.
I'm on a Sork, so
But
won't be me.
See, look at that. Mystic is such a face roll class. You couldn't even play it for more than like 3 months before you had to go back to Sork.
Face roll class.
But yeah, that's gonna be go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say Sork's easier, but go on.
Sork is easier than
It's
Mystic?
way easier. It's way
You're
easier.
a damn dirty liar, kid. Oh my god.
That's gonna get hate.
That's gonna get a lot of hate. There's no way in hell Sork is easier than Mystic. I refuse to believe that. But that's gonna do it for this podcast, guys. We appreciate you hanging out with us and listening in on the discussion. Make sure you go check out Nayashe's YouTube channel. Should be in the description down below as long as he doesn't make a liar out of me. And check out our other stuff. We got the RSS feed now, so you can subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app. We got the Discord now. Join that. Discord, join it. Discord, the Discord, join it. Yeah, all the usuals as far as the YouTube stuff goes. Leave a like, leave a comment, letting us know your opinions on everything, and make sure you do subscribe because we are no longer posting to Reddit, unfortunately. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. We appreciate you hanging out with us and keeping the conversation going, and we'll hang out with you guys on the next one. Can't wait.
Here I'll stay.